Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. This is a video on meal prep. This is going to be specifically for like flight attendants or when you're traveling. So I'm going to do a meal prep of like when you're traveling, when you're leaving, like if you need to go somewhere on the holidays. A lot of you are traveling to different cities for whatever reason during the holidays season. And this is a really great way to travel with those things. That being said, if you're not a flight attendant, I don't know exactly what you can and can't bring, and I know that you can't bring liquids, you can't bring silverware and things like in a carry-on. So this may have to change for whatever you're bringing. A lot of times what I do is whenever I get to the city, I immediately go to the grocery store or that same day that I get there or the next morning, and I get all the things that I need, and I just bring these things with me, and then I just like separate it and then put it in the fridge, and then I don't have to think about it later. So I guess I'm going to start with the things. I'm going to post some of the things that I have with me, that I bring with me. So specifically for flight attendants, this is the exact way that I meal prep every single time I meal prep. I change the food around a lot, and switch it up a little bit depending on how many days I'm going to be gone. This is just a transcon, so I'm only going to be meal prepping 2 containers, when usually I will do, if it's a 3-day, and I'm also a commuter, I back things up, so I'm typically gone for 6 days, so I bring a lot of food. So I have 2 types of bags. I got my big bag. This thing is the biggest bag that you can get on Amazon. It's humongous. It has so many different compartments. This is where I put my toiletries, because I don't need all this space, because this thing, when you open it up, is just like a humongous cooler, and you can fit so much food in there. It also has these little side pockets. There's a big pocket in the front. This is where I keep my Shakeology and all my other little things, teas and stuff. I don't have a big bag of Shakeology. I used to do that, but then I was like wasting so much plastic on Ziplocs that I just started getting these. So I have the little packet ones, and I just bring those with me. Again, it's not super great for the environment, this stuff, but it's what works for me, and until they find a better way to package their stuff, I mean, there's nothing I can do. But if you do have the big bag, you can get little baggies, just, and I sometimes label them by day, so I know exactly what I'm drinking and all that, and I can keep track of it. Okay, so I sometimes will go into the Fix8 website, and I will get all the ingredients for all the things that I want, and I do a big thing, and I cook, but usually I do that when I'm at home. When I'm home, I have the time, and I'll go to the grocery store as soon as I get back, and I go and get the things I want for the week that I'm here, and then I'll make a bunch of things on the from the Fix8 like list of foods, recipes, and I will make that when I'm here. When I'm away, usually I don't have time to do that crap. Sometimes I'll make a big chili or something. I'll bring that with me. That's really good to bring. It's a easy thing to carry. But for the most part, I'm super lazy, and I just get frozen shit. So this is what I did this week. This week, because it's Thanksgiving, I decided to make myself like a little Thanksgiving meal. So I got turkey burgers. These are not cooked yet. They're raw. So I leave them in their individual package, and I just slap them in a thing. Then I get out my cups, and I measure out my stuff. So this is a riced cauliflower. And again, you guys might not be on the same plan that I am on. I am on the MAID diet. I am not on the 21-day fix one or the Lift 4 one. So if you're on that more specific diet, like your one green, I know this is a purple, but it's the same amount. They're equal to a cup. Your one green will be for your one meal. For me, I only eat 3 meals a day, so I typically do 2 greens per meal. So I would do one of these, and then I'm going to do one of these. It's like this mushroom medley and these green beans. And I'm not going to cook them. I am not going to warm them up. I'm literally just going to slap them in here for each meal. One of these in each thing, and one green cup of this, and like a quarter or like a 3/4 of a cup of this, and like a quarter of this. And I'm going to put it all in one thing and keep it frozen. I'm going to pack it all up and leave it in the freezer. And then the morning that I leave, I take out these guys. So I have a few of these. This week I'm taking my small little baby container because I'm only gone for 2 days. And I just put one of these under each container, just like that. And then I put another one on top of here, and then I put my other container. Now, when you get on the plane to wherever you're going, if you're the galley, great. If you're not, ask the galley for your for dry ice. The key is to put the dry ice underneath this, not underneath your food, because it will freeze it even more. And it's fine that it's frozen. You want it to stay frozen because that's what's going to keep it fresh. But if you put it under this will stay frozen and it'll keep it cold without giving your food like frostbite. You know what I mean? And then you can fit a lot in this. So those are my dinners. My Shakeology basically is my lunch. And I will have this. I add my, where the heck are they? Power greens to my shake, and I just put that in my box as well. And then usually for my shake, if you guys watched my my shake video, I add in almond or coconut milk. Sorry, coming right back. So I will just, this is from Trader Joe's. It's the refrigerated one. It's the one that's just sitting there. And I just slide that in the side there, and I will use this. The other thing that I do that's a trick is that I'll go to either a Starbucks or a Jamba Juice, and I will just get a cup of, and I even give them my shaker cup. So I bring my shaker cup with me, and I'll be like, can you give me either a tall or a grande coconut milk? Just poured in this, saving a cup. And then you put your Shakeology in, shake it up. I put my Power Greens in with that. And then I always do like some sort of nut butter. Since I don't have a nut butter with me and I don't have a blender, I just will do 1 serving of these walnuts or pecans. They're like low carb but high in fat, so, and that's kind of like my deal right now. So I'll just eat a few of these with my shake. That's my lunch. And then my breakfast, what I usually make is, it's so easy to make. I'm not going to make it right now because I only have 2 days. When I have a longer, like if I have 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, or 6 days on, I will make these. So this is what you do. You get one of these, you spray the heck out of it with, I usually use the coconut oil spray from Trader Joe's, and then you line these with bacon. So you take the bacon strip and you line it around like this until it stops. There's going to be like an end. Rip the end off and put it at the very bottom. Once you've done that with all of your cups, then you're going to take whatever vegetables you want to put in there. Like I usually do a little bit of spinach, sometimes peppers and onions, mushroom, and just put them in there. Put them in the cup, like right on top of that bacon. And then I will mix up a bunch of eggs, depending on how many are in each here. Like usually I'll eat 3 cups per serving. So let's say I made like, if I made this whole pan here, I would do 2, 4, 6, 8 eggs. So I would mix up 8 eggs for this, and then you just pour a little bit on top, like just enough to fill it like 3/4 of the way. You don't want it filling it all the way to the top because it's going to spill over and like ruin the bottom of your oven. The other thing I would do is I would put some foil down at the bottom of your oven just in case it does splash down. The other thing I add is cheese. I will sometimes add cheese in it to begin with, but I always at the end, once I see that they're mostly cooked, I'll add a little sprinkle of like shredded cheese on top and leave it in for like another minute and let it. So then after I'm done with that, I take them out and I let them cool. And as soon as they're cool, I wrap, because they're, for me, the way that I make them, and I only eat 3 meals a day, so 3 of these is 1 serving for me. 2 might be for you, depending on what plan you're on. But I will take the 3 out and wrap them up in foil, and then I slide them in on top of these containers, and I literally just put them in the oven. Like, just because they're in foil. I don't even need anyone's tin. Don't save me a tin, the whole thing. Just slap it in the oven just like that. Leave it in for, like 20 minutes or something, like 15 minutes, and take it out, and you have yourself a meal. And they're so easy to carry around, and it's a no-brainer. Because sometimes our hotels have free meals, sometimes they have a discount, or sometimes they don't, or sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes your pickup is at like 3 a.m., and they're like, well, we do have free breakfast, but you won't be here for it. Great, whatever. So I make that's my usual breakfast. My Shakeology is my lunch, and then for dinner, I change it up a lot. It's always going to be like some sort of protein, some sort of vegetable, and some sort of fat. Like I do, I forgot to show you these. So what I usually add to that breakfast, avocado, and avocados just get smushed in your bag and it's bruised and disgusting. So I found these, which are freaking amazing at Trader Joe's. These are freaking lifesaver. I'm obsessed with them. So all it has in it is avocado, some vinegar, water, jalapeno salt, dehydrated onion, and garlic. There's nothing else in it. There's less than a sugar in it, and there's only like four carbs in it. It's 9 grams of fat. It's great for me. These individual little guacamole packets are a freaking lifesaver. And I just like squirt that right on top of my eggs, and it's unbelievable. Oh, I forgot to get hot sauce. I love hot sauce on my eggs. I'm one of those weirdos. Anyway, these are so great for travel. They're also great for meal prepping. So if you guys aren't traveling, you can still use this system. And you don't need to put it in a freezer because it's not going with you. So as soon as you map out you measure out all your things and put them in your containers, you can put them right in the fridge, and they'll thaw out, and then you just have to shove that thing in a microwave for like a few minutes, and your meal is ready to go. Same thing with the cups. Pre-make those. Like if you want to make those egg cups that I just described to you, you can make those, and then you don't even need to put them in the foil. You can just put them in a baggie or like with saran wrap or something over it in your fridge. You can freeze them. They'll live longer if you make a lot of them, and then just put them in the oven or in a toaster. One of the like a toaster oven. It couldn't be easier, guys. And there's so many recipes on that Fix8 website. So if you're not a traveling person, if you're not traveling anywhere, and you need some good recipes, I can't recommend that not website, that thing on your Beachbody On Demand enough. It's really, really, truly a lifesaver. So that's all I have for you guys. The key when you're traveling and you're bringing stuff with you as a flight attendant is that literally, I tell people this all the time. They're always like, how do you bring all your food with you? This is the key. Having everything frozen before you left. Freeze everything. Make everything ahead of time, or buy frozen foods and put them in the containers, and buy these and put your dry ice underneath. It will stay forever. And I've never had anything go bad or anything like that, because I don't even know who I found this tip from, but it was trial and error. I figured it out, and it's what's been working for me for months now. This is exactly how I travel all the time. But if you're not a traveling flight attendant and you're just at home and you're meal prepping, again, this whole system would work for you as well, but you don't even need to go to the lengths of buying these and freezing everything. If you make a huge batch of stuff, yeah, you can freeze it and microwave it later. But the key is just organizing what you're going to eat. Because I have all of this organized out and everything's planned out, and this is my breakfast, this is my lunch, and this is my dinner. I don't stray from that. I know what my meals are in the day. I know exactly what I'm putting in my face, and nothing else goes in there, because this is what I have for myself and this is what I've prepared for myself. So I really, really recommend that you get a little organized about that. It's going to take a little time to get used to that, because you're not used to that. You're used to kind of eating on the go, but you need to have a plan of action. And if you are like, I'm not meal prepping, I don't want to do that, and I don't have the time for that, that's fine. But what I said earlier, and whoever was in the meeting earlier, what I was saying earlier is that you need to at least write it down. You have to hold yourself accountable for what you're putting in your mouth, in your face. And if you're not going to meal prep, if you're not going to have a plan of action of I know what I'm eating all day, then you need to hold yourself accountable by writing down everything that goes in your mouth. And I'm talking about a stick of gum, I am talking about a bite of this, a snack of that, a taste of that. You're writing it all down, because that is the only way that you're going to keep yourself engaged and aware of what you're eating. Because that is the whole problem, is that we're never aware of what we're eating. We're literally just shoving things in our face, and they're like, why am I so fat? Like, I ate a salad today. Well, then you also had, a few fries here, and like a teaspoon of peanut butter there, and all these little things that you forgot about, because you weren't thinking about them. You just literally just put it in your face without thinking about it. So you need to hold yourself accountable. So one of those two ways is the way that you got to work with, okay? And honestly, the easiest one is to write everything down. That's the easiest way to start. But the better way is to plan ahead. Because when you're hungry, and I know you know this, that when you're hungry, you're literally, your brain is like, I don't give a shit. I have to eat something. I'm so hungry that I'm going through this drive-thru right now, and I'm just going to avoid the fact that I'm supposed to be on a diet, or I'm supposed to be like being good right now, because I don't care, because I'm so hungry. And then later you're going to be pissed. You're going to be like, why did I do that? It's because you didn't plan. You did not set yourself up for success. You just allowed your brain to make a decision in the worst possible case scenario when you're starving already. So for me, I would suggest the meal planning and the meal prepping, but if you're like, I don't have the time for that, at least write everything down so you can hold yourself accountable. Those are my tips for you guys. I think that's it. Later in the next coming weeks, I'm gonna do some recipes and things that I do, some cool holiday recipes, some cool like warm weather things that I make that I can bring with me, or things that I can make a big pot of so that I have it for like the rest of the week, things like that. But other than that, I hope I've given you enough tips to get you started on your nutrition, get you right on track. Email me, message me if you have any questions, and happy prepping, happy eating. Love you guys.